Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Unstoppable Success. I'm your host, Jaclyn Strominger, and as you know, on this podcast, we hear from amazing leaders and influential people out in the business world who share their tips, their insights, their tactics, their tricks, you name it, so that you can have unstoppable success. And today I get to introduce you to Michael Stephenson. Michael's in the house. Woo! Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about Michael. If you didn't know that I actually know Michael a little bit, he's so amazing. But let me just a little bit about him. He's an entrepreneur who loves meeting new people and helping them grow their business using up-to-date market trends. His primary focus is Brim Brand. Michael also is a part owner of a new startup coffee company, Black by Choice Coffee, as well as an exotic pet boutique in Fishkill, New York. Okay, I didn't know about the exotic pet boutique. Um, Michael has been nominated in 2022 for the top 50 CMO list and sits on several boards that champion promoting uplifting experiences for inner city youths. Let me just tell you, listeners, that Michael's the real deal when it comes to all things marketing, branding. He is a fractional CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. So, Michael, welcome to Unstoppable Success because you are unstoppable.
I appreciate that. Now I feel unstoppable. After that little thing that you just did, I'm like, all right, I feel a little bit more confident than I did before walking in here. So I
Well, that's
appreciate
good.
that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Michael, Chief Marketing Officer. I mean, when I think of success, one of the biggest things that helps a business and a person have success is how they market and brand themselves. So walk us through how you got into this and what do you think it is that makes you unstoppable?
Sure. So I started off my corporate career, right, working for a fairly large company. And the first company right out of college, they had a strong brand and they had a strong way of going about things. And they had like specific people that they went after, which is fairly smart. Uh, but what I was doing wasn't something that I wanted to do forever, right? But I loved the culture. So I wound up getting a job in marketing for an agency. And the agency had really cool clients and it was like really trendy. They had like a bar, like all this. Yeah, tell me about it.
A bar?
All the
I'm
aesthetics
assuming
were
you mean
there.
a bar in the office.
I'm telling you, a bar in the off. They had a wine room in the build, like crazy, 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 crazy. Guy like, learned a lot. So what I learned there though is everybody there was so seasoned and so professional. And here comes this young buck that doesn't know anything, right? But I felt the need to kind of prove myself nonstop, and I failed miserably. Oh my God, I failed miserably. Um, talked when I shouldn't have talked. They were trying to give me things to learn, but they were so seasoned in their job that they couldn't look after the little guy. They were so busy that they had no time to nurture anyone and help them grow, you know? So no bad blood or anything, like it made sense to get rid of me. I knew I sucked. Like when you suck at something and you're still trying and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And it just was what it was, and I didn't hold anything against them. But then I wound up working for another corporation, and this corporation was a big one, and they didn't even try to have a culture. They knew they just were not people. They were a business, it was a corporation, and that's what they did. And I wound up managing several places and doing some things that like just very corporate like very like non personable. And after a while, I started getting the hint like every one of these businesses that I worked for was missing something. Either they had the culture and they were missing um, just the ability to nurture, or they did nurture, but it wasn't to do anything positive. And it was like they're always missing something. And I was like, damn, like I don't think I could work for a company because like these companies are just like it's so blatantly obvious that people are people, right? They deserve to be treated like people,
Right, right,
right?
right.
And being
Yeah.
authentic. Like if you're like super cool and trendy and doing all this cool stuff, but you don't have the time to pour into the youth, how super cool and trendy do you think that you'll be? Like what's your longevity strategy? Like you don't have one. You
Right.
don't.
It's really hard to actually have, and it's just, and I don't mean to necessarily interrupt, but like, what you're saying and like in your path, which is what also helps us be a better leader when you see the things that other companies are doing. But, you know, you're talking about one company that you were at, and it's like, no, you needed training. You needed somebody to be there to train people, to take the young person to elevate them up. I mean, leadership is that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to train up, right? You're supposed to help people go up. If somebody doesn't know something, again, you don't come out of the womb being the best chief marketing officer. You don't come out of the womb being the best quarterback or the best basketball player. You have to have somebody to help you hone the skills or read a book. I don't know, right?
No,
Like,
100% correct. And that put a thing in my ear. So short story, I'll give you a short story where I had an employee at the last corporate job that I had, and he was with the company for 30 years. 30 years, Jaclyn, he was with that company. And his son actually worked for me. He got out the military and he had a job. We gave him a job. Cool. The guy that was with the company for 30 years wound up having terminal cancer and, was gone for a while. He went from STD to, eventually to LTD. But what they don't tell you, corporations, is like if you go on the LTD, like the way that this company particularly worked, he would lose his pension, he would lose all his insurance, he wouldn't be able to leave his family with anything. So
LTD is long-term disability, just so people
that is
understand.
correct.
Right. Long-term disability.
Correct. So I offered to pool our resources together. I offered all my vacation time, everything, and some of the other employees decided to do the same. Corporate told me no, and that he needed to come back. If he didn't come back, they were just gonna. So he came back, lasted a week, and died. Oh yeah, I went to his funeral, and I was the only one. After 30 years in that company, I was the only one that went to his funeral.
Oh my God, that's like heartless.
Then I got hurt because they put a hiring freeze and I couldn't hire people. And I wasn't going to let my guys go out and do the work when I knew they needed another hand. So I got hurt. And I saw the writing on the wall because I see how they treated people. So that's when I came to the conclusion, listen, it's not meant to be because I care about people. And I'm just going to do my own thing. So I asked my wife, I asked my family, I said, listen, I'm going to go down in a deep hole for a while.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know, but this is what I'm passionate about, you know. And luckily my family, my in-laws especially, were very, very understanding. And, you know, I got quote unquote fired from that corporate position. Man, the day Jaclyn, I jumped for joy. I had papers ready for my bosses. I'm like, here you go. This is what you need to know. Ba 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 ba. And they were like, man, you were really ready for this. I was like, man, I was counting down the seconds to when I can get out this place.
Oh my God. Right. Okay, well, a couple things, listeners, something that Michael did that maybe I just want to point out. You did something with your family. You actually shared with your family, for lack of a better word, your vision and your desire and um your you were clear on what you wanted to do. And you said, you were honest and said, I don't know where this is going to go, right? this is what I want to do. And you said, I might go down a little rabbit hole. I might not be at the top of the game for a little bit, but here's what I want to do. And you got your family to rally behind you, right? And get support. And and listeners, that when you are looking for unstoppable success, to share where you want to go or what matters most to you with the people that matter most to you, you should get their support. You might get naysayers and you might get people that would try to talk you out of things. But if you share your passion for it, and you could even say, and I don't know if you did this and you can let us know, like you could have said, if this doesn't work out, if I decide to go off on my own and this doesn't work out, I will find another job in 2 years, but I got to try.
Yeah, I just the way that my grandfather-in-law, I love this man. Like he is my everything. And he goes to me, as long as you can take care of your family because you know that's the right thing to do. I said, absolutely. And when I went on my own, I had no clue what to do, Jaclyn. I was taking like 25 bucks. I didn't care what it was because I needed experience. I needed to be able to say, hey, this is what I'm good at. And I sucked. I sucked big time for a while because I was doing stuff and I had some wins, but I had some losses, right? And the more that I started to do it, the more I realized, man, I really hate this, but I love this,
Hmm.
right? And I learned later on, it took me like 2, 3 years, but after 2 or 3 years, I learned can't do it all myself, right? And as a solopreneur, like it's hard because everything is on you. So I had to find the right people to surround myself with. And what I also learned is people that may know you for one reason, right? They knew me for management, or they thought sales, which I didn't do sales, but whatever. That's what they knew. And these people, as soon as I shifted and did something different, they disowned me. Talk behind my back, say crazy stuff, and you think that somebody has your back, and then like trying to get help, right? Trying to find people that'll legitimately help you. Like you have questions about running a business. I'm asking you blatantly, and it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about because that's what I don't know what I'm talking about, but I need help. And people are so quick to dismiss you and say you should do something else. Asking you for help. I'm not asking you to tell me that I suck at this. I know that. That's why I'm asking you to make me better. And over the years, I've gotten enough people and made enough mistakes that I could have gone one or two ways, Jaclyn, like everybody else. I could have quit or I could have kept going. And I met my now business partner, Jaclyn, and he set me straight. He was like, what are you going to do? Go cry in a corner somewhere? Or are you going to do something about it? Because what other option is there?
Right.
You either succeed or you don't. And if you don't, what are the repercussions for not? And if you love your family the way that you say that you do, then there is no other option.
Do you think there was an option to, there are options to pivot? I mean, maybe change the direction of what you were doing to something else, or not necessarily like throw in the towel?
I did. I did a lot of pivoting actually. So at first we started off with a crazy name because I didn't know what we were going to do. So I didn't want to make anything that was related to Stevenson at all, um, which was my strategy, which worked. It worked.
Yeah, no,
But on,
I actually
but on
think
the flip side, I started off with doing just social media. And at the time, there weren't all these cool tools and stuff that you can use. Everything's by hand. I'm like, damn, I really hate this. And the more clients that I got, the more I hated it. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be up here dancing and doing some crazy stuff all damn day. So the one thing I didn't want to do was web design. I actually couldn't stand web design. And guess what? Now that's the forefront of my business, right? I do more websites than I do anything else. But I had to learn how to use these different programs because I would get a programmer, and this is how I learned to get even better. I would get a developer, and the developer sucked at doing design work. or I would get a designer and the designer would suck at development. And then I realized, aha, what if we did both in-house? What if we could take both and then have a centralized person that takes care of everything from soup to nuts? My business partner is an amazing brander, understands how to build businesses. That's his strong suit. I'm a great market strategist. I can figure things out and put things where they need to be. And now build freaking sites, which again was not something I ever wanted to do for full time. But taking all these different elements and building Brim Brand, right, as a holistic type of approach where every business is missing something
Right.
and you need somebody that's objective to go in and identify this is what you're missing, but not just tell you, fix it,
Right.
right? Just fix it. Isn't that something that every business wants to? They go, okay, I'm listening to you, but can you fix it? You
Right.
go to the mechanic. He's telling you all the things wrong with your car. Do you really care? No. You want it fixed because you don't understand half of the crap the man is saying in the first place.
Right. Well, half the time, I mean, particularly as a solopreneur, like I'm thinking about, you know, all the things that a solopreneur does. Like even if you have a VA, it's like you're still wearing lots of hats and you're just like, I just want to automate that, or I just want, can you just take care of that? Right? And that's something, to be able to offer, to be able to be the person or that company to know that some like to say to somebody, oh yeah, you know what? And I will tell you guys this, Michael does have your back. Like to say, if you need something done, Michael's got your back. Brim and Brand has your back. Like you will get it done for your clients and find a way to do it. Because it is that, like to be able to have that, that person that's in your back pocket that you know that you can count on.
That's it. When we look at AI right now, AI is like super powerful, super everywhere. And the reason why people like this is because they can talk to AI, right? You could talk to chat or whatever, tell it your deepest woes, and it's going to figure it out for you, right? It's going to give you something that you can
Sink
evolve
your
with.
teeth into, right? So to speak.
Right. The issue that we have, because we integrate a lot with AI, but
Right.
what we tell people, and here's the differentiator, is AI will keep going. Chat will do anything to make you happy. It will give you the best answer in the world. And if you say try something different, it's going to try something different. It doesn't mean that it wasn't good. It just means it identified that you were not happy because you kept prompting. So it's going to find an alternative to what it originally gave you. Well, we work the same way, except for I can say no. I can tell you that it's a dumb idea and that we
Right.
need to do
Right.
something different, right? Chat's not going to tell you that because chat doesn't want you to stop using it, right? There's the big difference.
That's
Sometimes, and that's where the fractional support comes in, Jaclyn, is being able to come in and give you here's the reality of a scenario, right? You can plug everything into AI, and you know what? Hell, let's use it to make this job a lot faster for you and
right.
make it more simple for you, right? But at the end of the day, you need a human to tell you this is resonating and why. I feel it. Like if you think of music, you need to feel it, right? And then you
Right.
know that that's the music for you. A bot can't tell you how to feel. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
so a couple things that I actually just want our listeners to really hone in on and I want to pull out because you have so evolved and from the time you were in corporate, those first jobs out of school to finding your path, getting the hallelujah fired, right? Because when you get fired from a company, it's the whole one door is going to close and another one opens. And in your case, it was like the gates opened, right? And so, and then you're on this path. And listeners, this is the key thing. You were doing things, but you were measuring and monitoring and adjusting as you were going along so that you said, okay, this is working, that's not working. I'm going to stick with the things that are working, or I don't like this. I like this. Let me do more of this. So it's always that measure, monitor, adjust go back, measure, monitor, adjust, measure, monitor, adjust. And I think that that's something that is like I really like you got to pat yourself on the back for being able to do that because that's not something, as you said, you had a choice. You could have measured, monitored, and adjusted out the door and said, I'm done. Or no, I'm going to keep going and make this work.
I mean, the biggest thing, the only thing that I'll give myself credit for is not listening to the naysayers and let it fuel me, right?
Hmm.
Because any entrepreneur, like the people that you thought were closest to you are the ones that turn their back saying, I don't know what you trying to do, or I can't support you, or why don't you go work at McDonald's was the one that got me the most.
But okay, but I want to stick on this for a minute because I think something is really true because naysayers, like, telling your family one thing, right? But, and some of your family may be naysayers. But this is where I would say, and I ask you the question, when you hear the naysayers, did you go out and find other people that were in that that you could surround yourself that were more positive people that, you know, help fuel your passion?
Yeah, I mean, I took the naysayers as literal fuel, right? So every time that somebody said you suck, I would drain them of knowledge. Whereas they would think like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. You ain't hurting my feelings. Tell me why. Tell me what I did. Tell me what hurt. How did I mess this up? Because I wanted to learn so that I never did it again. Or if it's something that's a soft skill or just part of my personality, I know that that's not the type of client for me, right? And then once you start doing that and you're listening and you're taking it for what it is, then you'll find the right rooms.
Hmm.
Because if you're listening and you're growing and you're adjusting, it's easier. The rooms will find you because you're gonna start you're just gonna start being a magnet, and these people are gonna come to you.
Right. They're going to come. Right. They are going to come. And it's so, when I look at your business right now, you do some amazing things, like truly amazing things. And one of the things that I think that you do that, and we've talked about this, when we've been together, is that you let your team do their job. You are not the helicopter boss or micromanager. You hired somebody to do a job, you let them do it, and you encourage them to do their job and to grow in it.
What you're saying is right, but you're trying to beat around the bush. I let them fail, right? I
Yes,
will
you
let you
do. But
fall on
yes,
your face.
right, right.
And the whole part behind that is I'll always be there to pick you back up, right? I'm never gonna let you completely fall on your face. If you're a parent out there, you understand. Sometimes the kids gotta fall in order to learn how to, you gotta crawl before you can walk. It's one of those scenarios. And especially today, I find that these kids, and I'm sure that our grandfathers and whatnot said the same things about us, but these kids, like, there's a level of entitlement that they have, and it prevents them from really seeing how to run or how to do business, right? Because you're not entitled to anything. And the way that I start out with my staff is you're not entitled to anything. I'm going to help you. We're going to get you the training that you need. But understand, I've been in business for this long because we have a process that works. And I'm going to give you the freedom to make a ton of money, or I'm going to give you the freedom to not. Right? But the choice is yours. You have the freedom. I'm going to give you all the tools. I'm going to put you in the right position. I'm going to give you everything that you need. But you have to listen. And my team, as you saw, does not leave me.
No.
They are responsible. They are very pleasant to be around. They understand that the customer comes first, right? And it takes forever to build these things and instill this type of culture. But again, think about where I came from, Jaclyn. One place that had tons of culture, One place that looked like it had a ton of culture, but
But
none,
didn't.
but didn't, right? Another place where it had the culture, but it was just a job that nobody wanted to do,
Yeah.
right? And then another place with zero culture that made a ton of money, but it abused people to the point of death.
Yeah, which is so painful. It's just so sad. That is so sad.
So my job, my everything is to make sure that the culture that we have at Brim is fun, it's exciting, it's new, it's innovative, and it allows people to grow, you know? And I want people to make money and I want people to be independent and I want people to have their own brands. Like I want to build an establishment that really looks after people.
Which is so, and something you just said I think is really important. And I will share, because my impression is that it's yes, you make money, obviously, but you just said you want your people to make money. It's not about, you making a million and everybody else making 200 or $25,000. You know what I mean? Like, and there's something about sharing in that wealth. Like as your company grows, you know, people can make additional money. You can make a lot of money if you're part of it and you believe in it 100%. And that's something that I feel that is what it's so unselfish of you. And I think that's really commendable.
Get that. But again, it's my business partner. He taught me how to be a businessman, but a person, a man, right? How to be a businessman, but how to be a man. How to stand your ground, how to understand like a CEO does not do everything. You will
Right.
never see the CEO bagging a grocery bag, right? You'll never see them on the phone handling a million complaints. They might handle the escalated ones, right? Or they'll get their hands dirty once in a while because they have to. But a CEO hires people to do these things. And even though it may be something that you want, that's not necessarily a business, that's more of a hobby.
Right.
So if you want to do a business, if you want to create a business, there's certain things you got to do. And I try to pass that down to as many people as I possibly can. Because if it wasn't for him giving me a shot and pouring into me, I wouldn't be here with you right now, Jaclyn. I would not have been in Forbes. I would not have been in all these talk shows and stuff. Those opportunities would not present themselves if not for a person taking the time out of their life to pour into me.
And that is something that I really, because you take that and you pay it forward because somebody paid it for, to you. You do that for others. And I truly believe that that is something that more people need to do, right? Or pick up the phone or send a note to somebody and ask them, how they got where they got. Or, hey, you know what? I like your profession. I just want to know what you did. I want to know how you got to where you are right now. Like, would you not agree that we should try to instill more of that, like, sort of like, for lack of a better word, mentoring, or like if more people could ask people and not to be afraid?
Absolutely. I think that's huge. It sucks that, people take advantage of it because I have been taken advantage of in the past, but you know, you can't let that stop you from being a good person. You know what I mean? Like you can read the signs and read the read the tea leaves as it were, right? Like, oh, this is a bad situation. I need to get out of it. But overall, not every person is bad. Not every person is going to take advantage of you. And when I work with kids and I'm doing a talk or whatever, a lot of other mentors will come to me and they'll be like, "Oh, how don't you get like disheveled or whatever when you're talking?" I'm like, "Listen, if there's 100 kids in a room, 90 of them are not paying attention. Nine of them may be paying attention and maybe it doesn't affect them, but it's that one kid
Mhm.
that I actually did something for. That one kid that's going to ask me a question, see me after the meeting, call me or email me or whatever the case may be. It's one kid that I had an impact on, then it made it all worth it. And if more people thought that way and stopped being protective, because a lot of people are protective because people take advantage of people, right? So they get overprotective and they're like, this is my secret, mine. You're not going to get it. So what happens? Nothing happens.
Right.
And that's a shame. That's a darn shame because it happened to me. Again, one person finally opened their door and was like, oh, you're a hustler. That's what he said to me. First time he was like, what do you do? And I told him, he was like, you're a hustler. You do a whole bunch of stuff. Come in. He's cutting a fish at one of his restaurants. I'll never forget it in my life. And if it wasn't for him, again, we wouldn't be having this meeting. So as much of a pain in the butt that he is, like, I wouldn't be here. Facts. I would not be here with you right now, Jaclyn. And I
Wow.
try to tell kids and anybody that works with us, for us, whatever the case may be, just be understand the person is a human being.
Right.
That's it.
It is. Okay, so totally to change the subject, I'm really curious about this. What's with the exotic pet boutique?
So I gotta probably update that. So we had
You
had
had.
past
Okay.
tense a exotic pet boutique. Again, my business partner and I trying to pay it forward. So I love reptiles. I do. And I grew up with them. But this guy, we yeah, he was the real deal. I mean, he had big everything. And he was looking for his girlfriend at the time, worked for my business partner at one of his restaurants. So she put us in contact, and my business partner was like, I know you love reptiles, so I need you to go to this expo with me and check him out and see if he's the real deal. So I do, and I'm like, he's the real deal. So then the guy was like, oh, I need business partners because I'm not good in business. So my business partner was like, yep, we need X amount of percentage of the business, and we'll come in and we'll fix it up, everything. And we did. And this gentleman decided that he didn't like to have partners
Oh,
because you need to report to your partners what you're doing. You can't just do whatever you want. And he did not like this. And money kept disappearing. Not saying he took it, I don't think he took it. Uh, but there was no where to
accountability.
go.
Right, where do you go?
Certain amount of money later, we got on a call and he pretty much told us, you guys can say whatever you want. It's my business and I'm going to run it my way. So we all politely sold our shares for, I think it was like a penny or whatever, to his brother. And we said, God bless. And he got evicted maybe like a month or two after. The moral of the story is we took a chance with somebody, right? And again, promoting it, whatever. It was exciting, it was different, but someone taking advantage of your kindness, right?
Right. Well, and I think one of the biggest things there, and actually, because it happens often, is that when you get into business with somebody, and once you do it once and you're kind of get burned, you realize you need to have certain agreements in place so that you know that those things don't happen again. Because even though we can trust people and we think everybody's good, you need to have there's certain requirements that and milestones that have to be met, whether it's weekly, monthly, whatnot, so that where things are going, what people are working on, you know,
The
all,
things.
all the
And
things.
again, all the things. So ironically, I still do have exotic pets because you can't just get rid of them, like they're there and they live for a very long time.
Oh
So I
God.
have about four, I think we just did the count of 14 more still in my my basement.
14?
Yeah, I think it's 14. It's 13 or 14, something like that.
Okay, now I just have to ask you a question. Do you take them out to play? Like, what do you do with them, or do they just sit in
Some
a
of
cage?
them,
Of
some some of them you do. Some of them are just so beautiful. Like it's unique. So, you know, I get it. I completely get it.
We
But I got
have
to
we
tell
have a
you,
gecko. We have a gecko that I think is blind. Okay, we've had it since like my son is my son's 18 and I got it when we moved here, so it's 8 years old, okay? And now my husband actually feeds it with a plunger
Oh my
because
God.
like a little, uh,
Yeah.
because it can't see the worms and stuff to like go and eat it.
So
Anyway,
I
that's
have three of those. Your leopard geckos, I have
yeah.
three. Um, and we mate them. So every so often they'll give us little eggs or whatever. And on the side I can make a little bit of money there. But we have three of those lovely leopard geckos. I have a bearded dragon. I have a boa. I had two boas, but one just recently passed. I have two grown redfoot tortoises. I have one silicata tortoise. I have one Russian tortoise. I have a what is that thing? Argentinian tegu. Like I have a lot, right? Once you start, it's like eating Tic Tacs, and you just can't freaking stop. I have no clue why the hell, somebody. But the best thing that happened to me, Jaclyn, is it was the best. I love my in-laws, but I love my space more. They ain't coming here. Not with all those snakes. Or if they come, they ain't staying for a long time. So it's the best, like, mitigator, right? There's mitigation happening, and nobody has feelings have to get hurt. They're like, why don't you get rid of it? Because you're not here. That's why I'm not going to get rid of it, right?
I love it.
So just the inside, folks. If you don't
Right.
want people in your house all the time, put
Get
that's
some
not a lot of people
reptiles.
like. Hmm.
Get some reptiles.
So sad. Make sure you
Oh my
cut this part out. This is ridiculous.
No, it's awesome because you know what's really important about this? A key thing about having reptiles or doing something, it's something that you like and you took something that you were passionate about and you did something with it. And maybe that didn't work out, but it's actually been a theme for a lot of the conversations that I've actually had today. And that is finding something that you are passionate about or that you maybe it's not a passion but that you enjoy doing. And we know that saying that happens all the time, which is do something that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Like I love doing this. I love my podcast. I love connecting with people. I love building relationships. It's meeting people is like it's like my caffeine. It's like it gives me energy. It's just it fuels me. But let's just say, for example, like, let's say that was the only thing you had done. Okay, so that didn't work out. You could have said, okay, you know what, that didn't work out. I know what we didn't do right. I can go now and do another exotic pet reptile business if you wanted to. It not in the cards, but again, the key thing is that you did something that was based on something that you loved. And so I think that's it's really important. You had other things in the works, but hypothetically, like if you didn't have all the other things with Brim and Brand going, maybe you had a partnership with somebody and you could have said, "Hey, partner, I really want to do this part of the business. I want to go find another reptile company."
He would be all right with it, but I don't want to do that.
Right.
Not a
Right.
chance.
Right.
Some of the best things that happen when you do exactly what you said and you follow and you do the things that you love is you identify like I may love this as a hobby.
Right.
I may love this as a once in a while thing, right? Or I may love like this specialty piece right here. And I don't really want to go any further than that. For example, with that lovely reptile store, I didn't know that if you do exotic pets, you got to have like centipedes and snails and things that I would never touch in a right. I feel the same way. And spiders, like, I don't like any of that. I don't
I don't
even
like
like toads or anything like that. No, it's beyond my comfort zone. So
spider.
I stayed, I think I did like 3 days where like he went on vacation or whatever and we needed somebody. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And somebody asked me for some snails. I said, you got to come back. You got to come back.
Get near those suckers.
I don't even know how to hold it. I don't know what to do with this thing. I don't want any parts. And they were laughing. They were like, well, can I just pick it up? I was like, no, you just have to wait.
Oh, that's
So
too funny. That is so
that,
funny. That's
but again, like the coffee too, like all these things were things that we really enjoyed, right?
yeah.
And my business partner goes into business a lot. And his whole thing is, man, I don't want to do it by myself because it's boring. I'd
Hmm.
rather have a partner or somebody that I can work alongside and then I don't have to do everything and we can have fun with building something unique.
Yeah. You know, and I actually kind of want to cap it here because I think that's also something that's about unstoppable success, what you just said. We can be solopreneurs, but it is so great to actually find somebody who is somebody to partner with. And I would say not necessarily partner with your best friend, because that could be weird. My own little personal opinion. Not to put my opinion in there, but to partner with somebody because you have strengths and your partner has strengths. And usually those two are different. So when you can come together, it's a great partnership because you each have different strengths that you can work off of. And you as a solopreneur, you really can't do everything. So you have to start hiring people. But if you're partnering with somebody, you can start off with one step with a leg up because you already know you've got two people that are doing things versus a solopreneur. It's the way I kind of look at things. It's kind of great to have a partner.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So, Michael, I could talk to you all day long. What is not coming up next for Brim and Brand? Like what's something that, that yeah, that's coming up that's new and different or where you guys are advancing?
It's always something different, but we will be in Santorini, Greece in June, filming for the CLA and Jose Escobar and all the like Brandon Godaris, all the big names. Uh, we do travel international. That's probably the biggest one that we're looking forward to. And then this weekend we'll be in Maryland, supporting a woman by the name of Briley Semenov, and she's really an advocate for helping kids with disabilities.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
we live, we live it every day and
That's
we're
awesome.
excited. And if you need somebody to be a part of your dream to make it happen, and you need to get it off the ground or you feel stagnant, then definitely give us a call.
I love it. And seriously, people, like Michael is such a great help and he does amazing work. So, best way for people to connect with you is it at Brim and Bram?
Yeah, so you can go on the website, brimxbrand.com, or you can call me or send me an email. Send me an email. Send me an email. That's definitely better than calling me. And that's Mike at brimxbrand.com.
Okay, so I'm going to put that in the show notes. So please, listeners, do me the favor. After you listen to this podcast, go out and connect with Michael. Go to Brim Brand's website, and I'll put he's one of the things that he was talking about Santorini, Greece, the CLA. I'll put a link to the Connected Leaders Academy in the show notes. And if you can connect with Jose, let them know that Jaclyn sent you. It is a great organization. I am not going to be in Santorini, Greece, because I hope to be there next year for a different event. I know. Um, but uh, definitely connect with Michael. There are some amazing things that are happening that they are doing. And then do me the favor, please share this episode with your friends, business partners, and associates because I know that they need to hear these great stories. And lastly, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe, or I should say second to last, subscribe to the podcast. But also, please go to our brand new school community on school, the Unstoppable Success community on school. I was like, what am I doing? What am I talking about? It's Unstoppable Success on School. You can find it. There will be a link to that in the show notes to come and join us there. The first people that join this month, first 100 get in for free, lifetime access. So you definitely want to be in there. And again, Michael, thank you so much for being an amazing, amazing guest.
Absolute pleasure, Jacqueline. And it is honest. It's just an honor to be with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And listeners, thank you so much for listening. Because of you, our podcast keeps on growing, and I truly, truly am grateful from the bottom of my heart. This is Unstoppable Success. Keep leaping to your unstoppable success. I'm your host, Jaclyn Strominger. Until next time. I'm Jaclyn Strominger, and I want to invite you to join the Unstoppable Success community on School. You can go to Unstoppable Success at school-9143 and join us. In this community, you will get daily tips so that you can be unstoppable, and you'll also connect with other leaders and professionals who are also aiming for their unstoppable success and are there to help you succeed. So join us in the community. We can't wait to see you on School.